Okay, we are coming back for this round of 4 game between Dreamum Wakeupum and
Penetration.
Tration. What is the team tags for these teams? I have
Actually,
no
I think it's
idea.
probably supposed to be Penetration.
Sure, that can be fine too.
I'm pretty sure they intended it to be pronounced like Penetration. Because it's spelled like ration. Or maybe Tratian.
Cassidon? What with bands again?
The chat bands were Caston, Timo, Nidalee, and Kale.
Cast, Timo, Nid, Kale. Alright. Get those on the screen for you guys. And we are seeing a Lulu pick. First Lulu pick that we've seen. Wait,
Lulu's pretty good.
Cast, Timo, Nid, Kale. Okay.
Cavi even said that he had played Lulu, in the previous game, and they still decided to leave Lulu open.
Well, like I said, Zemike is the only person that has a 100% win rate with Lulu. Other people, not as high.
Not so good at Lulu.
Yeah. Alright, let's see, so we have Lulu being picked up for the team by Kavi being first picked up, and Lulu's really good, brings a slow, speed up, other things to the table. And over on the other side, we are going to see a Swain and a Jarvan pick as well.
So Swain is sort of flavor of the day. I've seen a lot of Swain.
Alright, and seeing a Jarvan as well, brings an Airborne, brings a... I am not making any extra noise, guys.
It sounds like there's something coming from your microphone.
Um...
Do you have a sleeping roommate?
Potentially, but I don't personally hear anything. Like, now you got me looking around the room, like, what's up?
Gandair, is there a ninja about to stab you in the back?
It's entirely possible. I don't know, let me, yeah. Ow. Yeah, I hear something, but I have no idea what the source is or where. Like, because I'm in the living room. So.
Well, the answer is clearly to just be super loud nonstop, because this game is super exciting. It is the semifinals of DominateDominion number 84, and it is Penetration versus Dreamum Wakeupum.
Yes, and yeah, we'll go with Tration, sure, because I don't know. These names don't come with a pronunciation guide, so I don't actually...
I can't, like, the only two options that I can possibly think of are Trashin or Tradian. Like Catian, because, right, Tradian and Catian would rhyme, or Trashin and Ration would rhyme.
Sure, I guess either one of those could be fine.
I don't know. We'll figure out something. I'm sure we'll figure out something.
So we are seeing Leona and Ezreal.
That is a really scary combination of Vi plus Lulu, by the way. Because Vi with the Assault and Battery onto Golly, and then, well, whoever's playing Ezreal, and then the Wild Growth on top of that. That's a lot of crowd control. Plus, then you have the Polymorph after that. And Urgot will probably be in the bot lane, but if he roams for a fight or something, you can get suppressed also.
And looking at the last two potentially open slots, we're seeing an Ahri highlight, and we are seeing an Annie being highlighted as well.
It's a lot of 100 to 0 damage. Two assassins there. Annie and Ahri both 100 to 0 mages. In the first game, we actually saw a ridiculous amount of damage coming out from the Annie. Annie was just sort of blowing up Zyra. Zyra was blowing up Annie. Everyone was blowing up each other. There are some other super squishy champs. What was it? I'm trying to look at my match history. Oh, and there was the Lux, that's right. And then the Lux. And those 3 champions, the Zyra, Annie, and Lux, were just all killing each other. And it was such a great 100-0 because you have those squishy burst casters. Annie, of course, a little bit tankier because she has her Molten Shield. 20 plus 10 per level, both armor and magic resist, is not to be overlooked, underestimated.
And we are going to see a Karma being locked in for the last pick for Penny's team. And looking at their comp, we have a J4, Ezreal, other thing. I'm going to guess Karma bottom lane. But if I'm wrong, then we'll all find out together.
Yeah, so we saw Karma bot lane against Vayne also in the first game. Actually, what am I saying? There were 4 burst mages that were just able to 100-0 each other. But the lineup's a little bit tankier this time. Leona, the 3.14 patch, the pie patch, is just so good for Leona if she can actually get items. That 20% increase in armor and magic resist going to mean quite a bit. But if there's one champion to counter Leona, it's Janna. If there's a second champion to counter Leona, it's probably Lulu. So we'll see how it goes.
Sorry, I'm like suddenly having to type some junk in the background. We pull the summoner spell blockers off here. No, not that. That's not a summoner blocker. Put that back. The stream had nothing on it for a moment. It was dangerous.
So yeah, still no clairvoyance. I'm actually really interested to see that there's no more clairvoyance this week. I'm not really sure why. Generally, in past weeks, we see at least 1 clairvoyance per team. And it helps out a lot because you want to be able to get vision in the center of the map. You want to be able to get vision, see if someone's in a bush. With the nerfs to both Gretz's and Hextech Sweeper, those items aren't so good anymore. And so you want to have a clairvoyance. I don't really know why people aren't running CV anymore. But it's very interesting to see the more combat summoners. Although we do have the one Garrison, from Painkiller there. So definitely a team that's good at diving. You have Karma with the mini Shurelias for the team, the mini Talisman of Ascension for the entire team out of her shield. And then Generic and Painkiller together are just fantastic at diving. The EQ from Jarvan, the E from Leona. So definitely liking the Garrison there as an offensive Garrison and potentially even a defensive Garrison. And Peroxide actually on Annie running Barrier. Barrier on Annie is more effective than Barrier is on a lot of other champions because not only does Annie get the extra health from Barrier, but that health is multiplied by extra bonus armor and magic resist from the passive on Molten Shield. Well, from the active on Molten Shield, I guess. So when you put Molten Shield on and you Barrier, you're getting a lot more effective health than you would be on a much squishier champion. However, it is sacrificing the Ignite, and frequently an Annie will want to run Ignite just to help out her burst combo all the way.
I see Generic in the chat posting, guys, I don't play this champ, what do I do? Well, first thing, you flag drop, and then you airborne the team, and then you turn around and Cataclysm the stuff that you airborne, and then you hope that your team has enough damage to kill them before your Cataclysm falls off. Alternatively, if you want to be like a super pro J4 player, you use Cataclysm on your team to keep them away from making bad decisions. Like if they were going to run into a bush without checking it, or make another otherwise bad play, you can use Cataclysm to keep your allies from making mistakes.
Alright, so we are almost through the spectator delay. Guys, if you are just joining us, welcome to the stream. This is DominateDominion number 84, hosted by Dominate Gaming. And it is, Penny Tration versus Dreamum Wakeupum. Dreamum Wakeupum, the blue left-hand team, and Penny, the right-hand team, going to be highlighted in red. All of the first games today actually have been absolutely fantastic. And into the load screen here, over on the left-hand side again is Dreamum Wakeupum. It is going to be Kavi on Lulu, Tempest CP playing Vi, Keys on giant enemy crab got Peroxide playing Annie and Alpha Ferric on Ari. I am RheingoldRiver, and joining me is
Gandair of the gaming clan, Vato clan, and on Penny Tration's team, we have Generic playing as Jarvan IV, Northpaw playing as Ezreal, Golly playing as Swain, Painkiller playing as Leona, and Armor playing as Karma. Hello, Comely. Thank you for going to the show, and that happens to me all the time. It's planned 90% of the time. Going to this name, this is going to be the round of 4 games, so guess what? Dreamum Wakeupum, they win RP. If they win this game and go on to the finals, then they can get a lot more. If they lose this game and go to the consolation matches, they still get some anyway. Top 4 wins RP. So, this is, Merca, I think has been in a, semis before, a couple months back, and I think this is Dreamum Wakeupum's first time, in these semis. So this is pretty awesome. I'm really happy to see these guys being here. I'm really happy to see Tempest EP getting some RP again. He's been a Dominion player for a very, very long time. And nice to see my friend Alpha Ferric get a little bit as well. I want to say thank you all for coming out and checking out the show. Guys, we have a subscriber button now. You can see it down there, bottom left corner. The follow button is over there as well. So if you guys want to help us out, click the follow button. If you want to really help us out, go ahead and subscribe. If you watch the stream a lot and you like what we do and want to contribute a little bit.
Alright, so some prospector's rings, prospector's items in general getting picked up. The new icon for prospector's rings looks pretty shiny.
I don't like it.
Prospector's blade feels
It's
all left out.
too glowy.
It looks too much like Catalyst.
It looks too much like all the other blue items in the game that are just a blue amorphous shape hanging out in the buy screen. And I glance at it and I'm like, wait, what? Oh, okay, it's that. It's obviously a Mage Drake ring.
We do have the Kindle Gem start on Leona. Is that going to be a super rush? I don't know if you still rush super with the... What, it was 3.13 nerfs or 3.12 nerfs?
I'm going to rant about Sweeper and Grez's Lantern for a moment. Okay, Sweeper, not nearly as good of an item as it used to be because it no longer has movement speed. Still used for Forgiving Vision, but without the movement speed, it's not quite what it used to be. Oh, by the way, they cut its range in like half, and they made its radiance... No, they cut its range by a lot. I don't remember how much it was, but it feels like it's got to be like half, or maybe a third, something horrible. And on top of that, they reduced the duration at which it reveals stealth, and they reduced the duration that it reveals, like, everything else. And I think they nerfed the crap out of it. And now, if I want to be Xin Zhao, and I want to bush check with a Grez's, I have to get in Pantheon stun range and possibly die to do it. It's totally not worth it anymore on most of the characters, because there's no safe location to Grez's from with it. It still is really useful against any of the stealth champions, however.
Alright, and speaking of useful, Leona's pretty useful in the windmill fight as Peroxide gets focused down, gonna go down for first blood there. Generic also fighting 1-1 the kills so far. Painkiller with the E, a nice hold of the Q so he can get the CC on the person he wants on. Q's is completely out of mana, gets exhausted now by Northpaw. Northpaw actually Eing in the Arcane Shift to get on top of Q's there, throwing out a couple Mystic shots. Nice dodge of the Acid Hunter, Never Move is going to land, and it looks like Q's might go down. Jolly just not picking up the kill there. Painkiller now trying to chase Kavi. We'll see how effective he can do that. He does manage to get the slow, or the stun, excuse me, but the exhaust is going to keep him alive alongside the health relic. It is Generic and Golly now against Tempest CP on the windmill. Kavi not recalling, shielding himself. Almost actually landed on that Never Move. That was pretty scary for a second. The Decrepify gonna go down. That might be enough. No, he has a shield for himself also. The EQ, the E not placed far enough to be able to actually pick up Tempest. And his Northpaw now this time just running for his life against Q's will be able to not escape with his life, but actually, no, he already revived. He doesn't have revive anymore. Golly now going to go down to Peroxide. And it looks like Dreamum Wakeupum going to win the windmill fight. Although Generic is still coming in. Hyperconnect, Mist and Reverse are going to take him off the rest of the team. Painkiller with some auto attacks, but no one to proc the Sunlight procs there. And his Jarvan going down. Kavi's still alive. Actually puts the Hugify onto Keys there. Nice ult goes down onto Tempest. That should be enough to pick up the kill with the W. No, the Q over the wall. Golly coming in, doesn't land the Never Move there onto anyone. Decrepify onto Kavi would kill him. I don't think he has enough mana for his shield. Maybe he does. But Northpaw, actually, he didn't have revive, but he could just wait out the revive timer. Should be able to pick up the kill on a Tempest. There's the last auto attack. Kavi drops the double kill for Northpaw, and that is the windmill fight. Just kidding, it went over to Penny.
And they are going to be able to take control of that top point. Bottom lane, there has been a little bit of trading back and forth, but no one's really gone for a big play there yet. Charm misses from Alpha Ferrix Ari. And it looks like Annie is coming down for the first gank of the game. See, Northpaw's Ezreal hanging out up behind the windmill right now in order to deter anyone who might decide to push up there. Ezreal's long range makes him very good at it. Charm has landed on armor down in the bottom lane. Peroxide moving in as well. Just needs that stun to land, and whoa, that damage bonus from that Storm Shield. Extremely powerful, only needing to disintegrate there in order to pick that up.
Yeah, and that's the power of 2 AP burst mages killing an enemy AP burst mage, is you do it really, really quickly. Northpaw with nice interrupts over at the windmill. Painkiller gonna engage on a Tempest. There are 2 versus 3, just kidding, make that 3 versus 3 as Swain is here. Solar Flare doesn't actually hit anything there. Tibbers goes down, I don't think that was actually a stun. And Painkiller with it not disengage because it's a double kill for Annie.
And they're going to, yeah, they can zone Northpaw out, pick up this top point for free. Bottom lane, though, they're still going to take control of 3 points, it looks like. Now, Lulu should be able to get there in order to keep this neutral, especially with those 2 minions that were chipping away to interrupt him from capturing just a little bit. And she's going to show up, going to get airborned, and Generic going to fall as Tempest EP shows up. Armor can't really 1v2 that too well, so he's going to go ahead and back away from there.
Yeah, but he does have the mini Talisman of Ascension. There we go. I gotta stop calling it Shirelia's. I will never stop calling it Shirelia's. Armor actually getting maybe a little bit overconfident here. The Assault and Battery does dodge the inner Flame Burst there. Excuse me, that was a Soul Flare actually.
And Golly up at the top part of the map is going to barely get away with hit points in the 50s from that top engagement. There's an offensive garrison down. They're taking a little bit of advantage of that, but has worn off now. And Golly returning, but his health is dangerously cheesy. Has Ravenous Flock up, is going to be okay, it looks like. And circling around back to get re-involved in the fight, helping to push minions into that as well. And is even going to pick up the killing blow against Lulu in the process. Tempest DP shows up and realizes that he's a melee champion, and that would be not very good of a fight to pick. That was bad grammar, but you know what I mean, hopefully.
Well, I don't know. I wanted to say something with really bad grammar, but then I couldn't make myself do it. But it is Penny with the 3 cap once again. Armor might be caught out a lot again. Alpha Ferric does not actually get the kill. I thought that was going to be a kill from the Orb of Deception, but the Orb of Deception deceived me. It was actually the kill over to Urgot.
And lands a taunt on Golly with some damage from the Orb in the process, so a good poke there by Alpha Ferric. Middle of the map, though, they know Northpaw's there. They found a Mystic Shot. Are they going to find a J4? Yes. Who hasn't been revealed? Everyone is revealed now. Tempest DP taking most of the damage. They go in, put a lot of hurt on Generic right away. They're still waiting on one more. A little bit of an imbalanced fight up here, but they got great damage from Northpaw being able to hang out in the back of that fight and fire in on it. Annie coming in from the side, doesn't have the stun available yet, so Northpaw is going to be able to escape. Takes a Spirit Fire to the face, and the shield from Lulu not going to keep her alive, unfortunately.
And actually, Painkiller trying to duel Tempest here. And if a Leona can duel anyone, I imagine a Vi would be somewhere on that list of champions that she's able to duel. But Northpaw getting turned into a little cupcake. It's a really cute little cupcake. Maybe Caitlyn harvests the Lulu cupcakes to make her traps.
Oh dear. They're the same kind looking too. I wonder what flavor they are. We could speculate about that.
Strawberry.
Ew. Whatever happened to cherry? How come everything red is automatically strawberry?
That's just what I thought, I guess.
I want cherry ice cream.
Wait, cherry cupcake sounds awful, Gandair.
Well, you think what you want. I would like cherry. Middle of the map, though, we see them wedging in. They want to secure the Storm Shield for their allies. It's going to give them increased damage and health.
Oh, they're obviously purple flavor.
That's correct. She told us.
That's right.
That's right.
Thank you, chat.
Alright, Ezreal coming down, maybe looking for a full 4v4, but they got a lot of damage in on Keys before this actually got started. Zenith Blade does not connect on Tempest DPs, so Leona not able to get that initiation. Tempest DP able to stay alive for now. Looks like they're breaking off Swain to head down towards the lower part of the map as Karma has been forced away as the fight breaks out.
Alright, so there's the fight. Kavi drops in very low. He's going to go down to Swain there. Swain with the Ravenous Flock. Tempest DP gets focused down next. Painkiller going to go down. Jarvan does get dropped, but that was a 4-for-1 there for Penny. They actually managed to pick off an ace as they had gotten a kill in the bot lane. Alpha Ferric did revive, not revive, but his death time wore out. But he's going to get zoned here by Painkiller. If Ferric lands a charm, then Painkiller will go down. But it looks like Painkiller not going to give the opportunity to do that. The Hugify comes in from Lulu, and the Hugify tasted deliciously purple, but the Refinery tasted red.
And Kavi is going to be intercepted by Golly, and he's going to get Glitter Lanced for his trouble. And momentarily, there was a 4.5 cap in favor of Penny. Penny Tration's team can also be known as Sofonda Cox, but I think they have a sub or something like changed on their roster that caused them to have the different name. I think it's the inclusion of Painkiller that makes it a different team.
Oh, the Hyperkinetic Position Reverser did get used there, so Urgot no more ulti.
And oh, dang, Karma's damage. Why is Karma a champion even?
Karma does a lot of damage. This is a different build from what we saw last time. Last time it was Spirit Visage, I believe, plus Haunting Guys and Sork Shoes. This time going for Sork Shoes, but the BFT second. So you have the damage from Swain and you have the damage from Karma, and they better make sure that they don't both use the same BFT on the same target, or different BFTs on the same target. Oh, just barely not in time.
Got hit by it on the way back, unfortunately. Painkiller is looking to connect with a stun.
Oh, nice charm.
Offensive Garrison used. Zenith Blade does not land. That might be it. Painkiller might just be getting nope.
Oh,
Eclipse
the W.
got
Eclipse.
in range.
Eclipse pretty good.
Generic on his way over to the refinery. Wants to start putting some pressure on that. And not going to be able to get this. Pyroxide is present.
Yeah, but I don't actually know if he can fight. Yeah.
Nope.
That was a lot of damage from Cataclysm. When Molten Shield isn't up, Annie is just as squishy as any other burst caster. Actually, even squishier because she's balanced around Molten Shield.
Yes, she's also 9, which means her spine hasn't fully developed yet. Generic is going to be able to survive. Golly's zoning for him a little bit. I don't know how old Annie is.
I expected Annie to be like 5 or 6.
She looks 11 now in splash art.
She does look a lot older than she did before.
I really want to see a granny skin where she's like gray hair and has a cane. And Tibbers is like an
and
older
it could
bear.
Be called Granny too, because
Exactly. Granny.
Oh my god, you're a genius.
I know.
Guys, Gandair is a genius.
Tempest DP hanging out up here. They're doing a pretty good job of zoning off 2v1. Golly and Northpaw getting into that engagement. Tempest DP not going to die to the Decrepify. Still going to be able to survive. Peroxide, though, swept up by Jarvan. Northpaw, with that arcane shift over, is going to pick things up. Kavi is able to arrive in time to keep the point from being neutral. Alpha blows up Swain, and Spirit rushes on through to the tower. There's an exhaust on Generic. Generic is going to be taken down. Northpaw is barely alive, does not have that much mana, can't quite arcane shift yet.
He's pretty dead.
Is going to be destroyed.
He's pretty dead.
However, Painkiller has arrived with a Leona and doesn't want to pick this fight. He seems kind of shy about it. He doesn't love Ahri. He doesn't want to eat. He has calories now. Now he's back to normal. Was able to stall long enough for Generic to arrive. However, Cataclysm thrown down off of Ferric. Spirit Rush is down. No way to get out of that. Never Move lands on Kavi. Now it's 3v2 if Annie and Vi try to contest this. And I don't think it would be a good idea if they did. And neither do they, it looks like, as they're breaking off away from the top point. Looks like they're going to secure the Storm Shield for their team, regroup, and then go for a different play. As opposed to getting into that one. Tempest DP.
You have to do something somewhat soon. As the ults come across, all of the ults, all of the sunlight procs, and they just got wrecked.
Wrecked is spelled R-E-K-T?
Of course.
If anyone was wondering. Key's down here in the lower part of the map against Armor. And Armor has a bunch of mana. And Karma with a bunch of mana can make people be that word that we all just learned. Keys stunned, position reverse, no, gonna be cancelled. And not going to be able to escape through that tower, is going to get taken down by Painkiller's Leona.
So Painkiller is really low, as is Armor, and he could one-shot, but they're going to realize that and back out.
Other side of the map over at the refinery. Tempest DP being low on health is sniped down. Alpha Ferric shows up to put a little bit of hurt on Northpaw. Northpaw completely denies all of it, thankfully, and then Alpha Ferric gets turned into a small rug. Generic by himself on the tower is going to be just fine because they have such a huge capture advantage that they can afford to stand and fight this out and really stall out for that extra Nexus health.
There's the EQ Cataclysm, and Vi gets dunked. Generally, Vi is the one doing the dunks, but in that case...
There is still a minor chance that they can neutral out of this, but that window is very rapidly closing. Looks like they just have Ari up, and I don't think they have it. Swain and J4 are going to get up to the top point about when Annie and Vi would be able to arrive there as well. And since they aren't able to uninstall Painkiller from the point very easy... What? Since Painkiller
can't really 1v4.
Since Painkiller is like a flash drive, you can unplug him from one point and plug him in another one. That's the second one that's going to have the Painkiller antivirus going on.
Or the Painkiller virus, depending on your point of view. As Vi goes down very violently. There's the E from Ezreal. Cavi ulting himself there, but it looks like he is going to get CC'd all the way to death. Because death is the best form of crowd control.
Yeah, it crowd controls them guaranteed for at least 7
seconds. 6
18
now.
minus 8? 10 seconds? No. How big is the res wave? 6 seconds? I forget how big it is. But
well, if they have Revive, it might not last that long.
Seconds.
Revive is like the QSS of being dead.
Whoa, that's the best comparison I can think of for it. And with this 4 cap, they are just going to take home the game here. They can't get enough position on the map to take it back and neutral it out. So this means that we're going to see...
They can get it down to a 3 cap, but they can't get it down to actually neutral.
No. Once that fight up to the top was denied just now, they really didn't have any way to get anywhere with it.
Oh, and they could... Oh, no, they did get it down to a 3 cap. But they did not get it down to a +1 cap. So, that is Penny moving on to the finals. And they're going to be against 3v3GG, who were able to beat Team Merca in the semis.
So we're going to go to the finals. 3v3 Gillette Mach 3.
3GG, 3v...
I can't say that team name.
Fancy G3 Elo GG. Well played.
Hello, Shirohime. Thank you for showing up. I know that you are in Sweden and it's AM o'clock, but thank you for watching the show. Now let's take a look at the things that people like to take a look at. Here's your items. Let's take a look at the damage dealt to champions. Short game, but Ezreal at 25k, 16 minutes. Not really on pace for 450k, but oh well. And oh wait, I forgot to show Graveyard Hero. Graveyard Hero for that game. Graveyard Hero? Graveyard Hero. Ah! Annie with 187. So, going into the finals, it's gonna be a best of 3 series. It's gonna be GG333V G3 versus Penetration. We'll be bringing that to you in just a few moments here.